Today on Saints Net we're talking to a Jimmy Gray, one would imagine a much happier Jimmy Gray, following the end of our winless run with a 2-0 victory over Weston-super-Mare on Saturday, Jim.
Yeah, I thought it was a good performance today, especially first half. I thought we dominated first half, moved the ball well and got a couple of goals up. I think second half, a few of the changes we had to make, the lads looked a little bit lethargic, but they put a lot of effort in first half. It sort of disrupted our flow a little bit. They were always going to gamble as well, and we were sort of a little bit cagey due to the fact that we'd been on that run and we didn't want to obviously let them in and cause us any problems. So that's understandable from the boys, but a total change around in fortunes really, and a good desire, good commitment, and a great reaction really for the run we've been on, and a little bit of relief for the management team as well.
You brought in Simon Thomas from Cheshire United, 31-year-old, and he looked experienced, and it helped John Frendo out, I felt, and gave us a bit more bite up front.
Yeah, I think so. I think Tomo's come in. We've analysed what we need to do, where we maybe need to strengthen, and he's a big physical lad. I played against him a few times, and I know what he can offer. And I thought he won every flick on. He kept the ball in important areas for us, and that sort of freed up Johnny Frendo's physical game, and he made some good runs, and obviously got on the score sheet as well. So yeah, I thought as debuts go, I thought that was a very impressive debut for the lad, and hopefully he's not just going to be a one-game wonder, and we can work with him. Obviously the lads get to know him a little bit and how he plays, and hopefully he can be a real asset for us for the running and for the future maybe as well.
He sounded a strong character as well, and he's very vocal out there. He wasn't afraid to put his opinion about.
No, well, I've asked him to be that. I said, obviously, coming into it, we're a young group. We've got some young lads out there, and the experienced guys need to make their thoughts heard on the pitch. It means that we can sort of relax a little bit on the sidelines. Although, obviously, I had a conscious effort today to try and be a little bit more relaxed on the side, but I kick and head every ball myself. But no, he's coming there, and I've asked him. I said, look, don't think just because you come into the side you can't make your comments heard. And yeah, you could see from the sides he's making lads aware of what's going off around him, and that's an asset for us. I think he's been skipper down at Cheshire for the last however long as well, so he's got them leadership qualities which you need them all over the park. So to have one up top will only help us out, and like I say, I thought his debut today was super. He didn't get on the score sheet, but he helped a lot, and he kept the ball in good areas for us. You know, I think I felt a lot recently that the ball's been coming back too easy, and today you could see that it didn't come back so easy, and fair play to Tomo.
It was encouraging that we created quite a few chances, but at the other end as well, they had very few chances. They could have had one at the end, maybe even had a penalty, but overall we kept it very tight back there. Yeah,
we've been working hard. You know, we've been working hard over the last 5 or 6 weeks. The run we've been on, and again, you look at, we've got some inexperienced players, and you can understand that sometimes we get ourselves into situations where we're making individual errors, and I feel that the majority of goals recently against us have been down to individual errors rather than the actual shape of the side. So we managed to cut that out today, and we limited them to very very few chances. Lockie and Omar was superb, and Chappers and Howie. You could see that it was there for all to see. They weren't bombing up and down the pitch all day long today. I asked them to be a back four and a together back four, and they marshalled it well. Welsh didn't have a lot to do, so we're pleased with that. We kept a clean sheet, which is nice, which we haven't done since, like I said before, since Gailey left. Something to build on. Again, we're not going to get too carried away. It's a step in the right direction. It's a good reaction for the run we've been on, but there's plenty of work to do, and we need to knuckle down and keep working as hard as we did today for the rest of the season.
At last, our first double of the season. At last, yours and Graham's 50th league win as managers. The frustrating thing is, no game next week to build on it.
Well, it is, but it could be a blessing. We've got a few lads that looked a bit lethargic second half out there, you know. So I'll have to assess the situation this week. We have been working the boys hard, and we've been trying to change a lot of mentality-wise. So it's been difficult for the boys week in week out. The intensity has been crazy for them. So it might just be a good little break for us to sort of take the pressure off, you know, and they might just come back a little bit more refreshed. Staines is going to be an opportunity for us. We all know the problems they've had this season, and we need to come out fighting. We're not going to be, hopefully not going to get caught cold by them. So it could be a blessing in disguise, but knowing me, I'll probably get something organised and probably keep them here longer than they would do on a normal Saturday, so we'll see what happens.
Quick word on the goal scorers. Sam Corcoran, I think he's third of the season. Midfielders, it'd be nice if they could chip in with a few more goals, and in fact, if Sam could get as many goals as bookings, it'd be rather useful.
Yeah, he's unfortunate, like I say again, he's unfortunate. I should have changed him probably 5 minutes before we did, because he looked a bit tired. He'd worked his socks off in there, and then you see the little sort of last-ditch challenges like that, it's because he's not getting himself in the situation to be standing upright in the first place. It is going to be what it is this season with him. We're going to work hard in the summer and we'll see what happens. But yeah, he's got too many bookings this season. But his goal, I thought he took superbly. You know, it wasn't an easy hit. He's coming across his body and to keep the control and stick it in the top corner like he did. We've been asking him. We've really sort of stepped it up with him recently and asked him to get them goals, especially in the system we played today and the sort of forward advanced position that he played in. He had a few other shots that went on the cricket pavilion and down the train station, which is understandable. But yeah, I thought he took his goal superbly, and he really worked hard today. You know, he got close to his men. He won a lot of aerial headers, and again, he's a young lad. You know, he's been in the pro game. He's dropped back out of it. We're just trying to pick him up. We're trying to teach these lads something different. And I keep saying, it's all well and good. We know what attributes some of the players have got. It's the reason they're not playing professional football is because there's something missing. And it's our job to try and find. Well, we know what's missing. It's to instill what we want them to do and get them back, maybe playing professional level or being consistent week in, week out in the Conference South for St Albans City. That's our aim. The 3 points today is a big relief because I'm not saying we're out the woods. I always thought that we'd have enough to actually get out of it, but we need to continually do this and try and assess where we need to be for next season. I know a few people have pulled me up and said maybe that I threw away the playoffs a little bit too soon and I was looking towards next season already, but I'm always looking to the future, and we've got some good young lads. We need to add a little bit, and hopefully over the summer the recruitment will go well and we can have a better season next season.
And the second goal was scored by John Frendo. His last two goals, both down here, both been poachers' goals. He's struggled for goals compared to previous years this season, but those two goals shows that he's still a natural finisher.
We know he's a natural finisher. We've asked him to do a lot of work up there on his own this season, but you could see today, and he had a lot more attempts today than he has done over the last 2 or 3 weeks. A couple of them off target, 2 or 3 of them off target, but when you've got someone like Tomo coming in, I think it only took him sort of 20-25 minutes to realise that hang on a minute, he's winning every single one of these, so then you can get your positions for the second phase of it, which he's not been allowed to do for such a long time. He really looked like the old shackles came off a little bit, especially second half, and he actually worked his socks off today. He kept getting out wide to close the fullbacks down. He looked like he had a new lease of life, and I'm pleased for John because he's took some criticism like we all have, but we have to understand the job that he's been doing for us over the last few weeks especially. But I think Tomo coming in really helped him out today, and he looked like a brighter Johnny Frendo. He had his chances, he took his goal well, and hopefully we can get a few more out of him.
You've talked about bringing players in, but there's only half a dozen games to go now. Are you still anticipating more changes? I
don't know, to be honest. I don't really want to. It's difficult because I keep week in, week out. I'm asking so much of the boys on a weekly basis, and there's always players that I think we could try and grab and strengthen us, but it's one of them things where you want to try and secure yourself in the league, give the lads a good run out. I want to have a look at Matty Taylor at this level and Keno and players like that, but because of the situation we've got ourselves into, it's been difficult because the pressure's on us so much. Who knows? When we're mathematically safe, then we might just sort of take the shackles off, and we might even enjoy it. We try and get back to the footballing style that we want to play, but the pitches don't allow it sometimes. It's quite bobbly out there now. You can see how dry it is. We'll see where we go. I'm always looking to strengthen if I can, but I've said before, I'm pleased with the group, and when we apply ourselves like we did in the first half, especially today, we'll be a match for anybody. I know that.
I suppose the main question from me is, where's that performance been for the last couple of months? I mean, that was excellent. It's similar to the one at Concord. New signings doing well, Corker's pulling the strings, and a great performance from Joe Welsh.
Yeah, I mean, it's one. You can't underestimate how tough this league is week after week after week. The teams we're playing against, and I don't know. The performances we've never been beat heavily. I know that much, but when we play like we do, and we have a tempo to us like we did in the first half, then, like I said, we can live with a lot of teams. Again, a lot of it comes down to mentality. I could sense today that the boys had a determination about them, even in training this week, and that's the most frustrating part. I said to the boys, every time we come in on a Thursday night, I see Jamal smashing things from 20-25 yards, bending them into the top corner and taking people on for fun. And sometimes when you go out on a Saturday afternoon, there's such big pressure on the boys that they sort of play within themselves a little bit. We need to break free from that and get our more attacking players and free-flowing players playing well. We cut out the unnecessary mistakes today. That was one thing that was massive. Lockie and Omar didn't miss a thing. So, again, it gives you more of a footing to stay in the game. It's been difficult against sides when you're given a goal away in the first 5-6 minutes. It's always hard to come back, but it's always within us. It's my job, Graham's job, to get it out of us week in, week out, and we know what we're trying to do. We've got ideas in place to try and change the players' mentality a little bit. I've got someone working with us. Hopefully we can have a good end to the season, and hopefully we can get it right for next season.
Good to see JK out having a little jog on the pitch. I noticed he was back at training this week. I mean, how did he get on?
He's superb, Jay. He looked like he'd never been away in training. 10 weeks out, and he just comes back. He had a spring in his step. He was on the ball. His touch was good. He's probably. I'm going to try and get some games, or maybe we'll have a closed door game, behind closed door game, or an in-house game, just to get him a good feel of the pitch and the ball again. But I don't know. For the way he was training on Thursday night, I was all thinking about just throwing him straight in, because he's seriously, he's obviously looked after himself. We've got a gym membership for him down at Westminster Lodge. He's been going there every Tuesday, every Thursday when we've been training. Kept himself fit. His injuries now looks like we're over the worst of it. We obviously can't push it too hard, but yeah, I think by the Staines game, he's definitely going to be in contention.
So he will play again this season?
Oh, I've no doubts about that. Yeah, he will definitely be involved at some stage. I might look to see if I can get him out a couple of games at dual reg at a club, maybe, just to get 2 or 3 games inside him. But yeah, obviously Thursday night he trained really hard and really well, so we'll see where he is.
No Jake Nicholson in the squad today. What's up with him?
I don't really know. Well, I do know. Obviously, the situation where he was going to be playing for free became a little bit more of an issue. He's travelling from Surrey, and so basically I said, well, the situation hasn't changed from our point of view. We have no money available for you. It's unfortunate. We've had to move some money around to bring Simon Thomas in. I won't go into it with details, but we managed to make some funds available for him. But he was a player that we desperately needed. Jake did really well for us, but again we just looked on paper and thought, do you know what, he's a little bit too similar to players we've already got in there, Corkers and Combs. So I wouldn't expect to see him back now, and I will speak to him, but like I say, I think he'll be done at St Albans, especially for this season anyway.
Lovely, thanks so much, Jim. Confirmation on St Albans City 2, Weston-super-Mare 0. Our next game is on Saturday 28th of March, when bottom of the table Staines Towns are visitors to Clarence Park for a Conference South fixture.